Here's a long story in English about the invention of the airplane, written in the past perfect tense as you requested. The invention of the airplane. By the time the Wright brothers made their first successful flight in 1903, people had already dreamed of flying for centuries. Humans had watched birds in the sky and had imagined machines that could carry them through the air. Inventors such as Leonardo da Vinci had drawn designs of flying machines long before the modern era, but none of them had worked. In the 19th century, many pioneers had experimented with gliders. Men like Otto Lilienthal in Germany had built and had flown gliders, showing that controlled flight was possible. Um, However, by the time the Wright brothers began their work, no one had managed to create a machine that was both powered and controllable. Wilbur and Orville Wright, two bicycle makers from Ohio, studied the problem carefully. Before they built anything, they had read every scientific paper on flight they could find. They had examined the failures of earlier inventors and had decided to design a machine that solved those problems. They began with gliders. By the time they moved on to engines, they had already tested dozens of wing shapes in a homemade wind tunnel. They had discovered that earlier calculations of lift were wrong, and they had corrected them through careful experiments. When it came to the motor, the Wrights could not find a suitable one on the market. By 1903, they had designed and had built their own lightweight gasoline engine. They also had invented a system of wing warping to control the aircraft in flight. On December 17, 1903, at Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, their efforts paid off. By the time Orville made the first flight of 12 seconds, the brothers had already attempted several trials with their machine. That short flight marked the beginning of aviation. After that success, the Wright brothers continued to improve their designs. By 1905, they had created an airplane that could fly for 39 minutes, turning and circling in the air. By the time the world recognized their achievement, the Wrights had already mastered controlled, sustained, powered flight. Looking back, the invention of the airplane was not a single leap, but a long journey. By the time humanity saw the first airplane rise into the sky, countless dreamers and inventors had contributed ideas, experiments, and sacrifices that made flight possible.